So how you doing? Hey, today we're gonna run my Stihl MS 170. This saw is being built for the cheap saw shootout at Sawfest, but I don't know if I'm gonna go so far as to make it an extreme performer. So, I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm just gonna build it as cheap as I can. It's not gonna be 100%. It's not gonna be at its full potential and all that stuff, but we're just gonna improve on it as much as we can, basically as cheap as we can. So I've done some work to it. I didn't show you any videos to the build process, and today we're cutting. I'm actually 3 or 4 cutting sessions into this already. Just doing little tweaks here and there, but it is piped right now. It is on a 70% gas, 30% methanol mix, and not a lot to say. So I haven't done any port work to it yet, none, and we'll see how that goes. I can tell you the carburetor is at its limits, so it seems a little lean. I can't get any more out of it. So if we want to get more out of the carb, we're going to have to go to a different carb. It is a fixed jet carb. So what I mean there is, so it's only got one screw adjustment for the carburetor. Some of it is, part of the function of the carburetor is fixed. You can't adjust it. So I would have to get to a more adjustable carburetor if I want to go any further than this. Because, it's basically running as much fuel as I can possibly shove to it right now. And, we'll have to do more. This pipe, you've seen it on other videos. It never ran right on any saw, and it seems to be doing all right on this one. So, it's been sitting around for a few years, and I tried it a couple of times on different saws, and it never worked right. But for this one, for some reason, it seems to be doing the job. So we're running it. It's ugly, but she does it, Now the chain has been my biggest issue. So on the last test session, I was having trouble clearing the chips. It was able to make the chips, but getting them cleared was my issue. It was just clogging up, you know what I mean? So I basically did kind of like a race grind on this chain, and we're gonna give it a try. I may consider taking this to a 325 though. It's a pretty cheap conversion. You get the bar and the chain and everything, but you can convert these to 325. I might do that down the road, but I need to get more torque out of it before I do that, I think. But we'll see here. We're gonna give it a run today and see how she's performing right now. The chain brake had to be removed. It was in the way of the pipe, so it was either modify the pipe or get rid of the chain brake, and I decided to just get rid of the chain brake, But here you go. It's a little test cutting of my MS 170 for the cheap saw build out at Sawfest. Alrighty. Thought I'd give you a little update on what the chicken coop's looking like. And boy, is it ugly. I had to put this corner way up in the air. I got the opposite corner down in the dirt, probably that far, just to get it close to level. She's coming along though. I don't think the chickens will really care, if you know what I mean. Nesting area. I put a couple of little scrap pieces of wood there for a roost. This whole side's just going to be a big door. She's going to swing open this way, and just to give us nice big access to it. So yeah, it's just going to be one big door over here. I'm just going to take a sheet of plywood. So I'll run a brace along the bottom and cut a sheet of plywood, 2 hinges. It'll just be one big door. Easy access to clean. Access to our nesting box over here. So this metal is pretty rough, but I don't think chickens care how the roofing looks, I still got to trim this backside off. I just let it overhang, and I'll just come in and whack it off the same, Probably just gonna make it all even with that far one. Nice big overhang there. And I think we'll put the food in a plastic tote, slide it up underneath. But basically open the door, hang the water and food, and that'll be it, Still got to put a floor in and that's pretty much the next step, I think. Do the floor, then put a door on, and you know, just so I can close it up at night. And then fence. We're just going to do a real simple fence. Eventually, just going to do a real simple fence just to kind of train them to our yard. And then eventually I hope to only put the fence on this back side here, just to keep them from roaming that direction some, and keep them into our yard. But for now, we're going to fence that area off just for training purposes, I think. And then we'll go from there. We might even make like a permanent fenced area that we can open up and just let them roam. So that's another option. But I'm pretty certain I'm going to run a permanent fence up this back side just to help keep them contained to our side of the property. But there it is. You can see I'm just using whatever scrap metal is laying around, and it's not pretty. But chickens ain't going to care too much. I can just come in with a caulking gun and some tar or whatever and plug up a few holes, you know. It'll slow the leaks down for a few years. But that's it. That's what she looks like right now. I think Jakey's a fan of this one. But there it is. It takes about 4 or 5 cuts for the torque to fully build up on this. So she's got to get to about 4 or 5 cuts on the warm-up cycle for it to come to its full performance level right now. I think my biggest issue right now is still that chain. It's 3/8 LP. I think it would do better with 325. So I might just go ahead and do that conversion. I'm actually quite happy with the way it's performing right now. It's good for playing purposes. Definitely not like race saw, but you know, it's fun to play with. And I might just leave it like that for get-togethers and stuff. Something to laugh about, you know. I think it would be better with 325, but you never know. The only way to find out is to try it, right? So I might go ahead and work at putting that stuff together. She's actually that's a Total bar. The brand is called Total. It's a home light mount, and I had to drill a new hole for the chain tensioner, and basically the metal in the bar is so hard that I was having to put a tremendous amount of pressure from the drill press just to get it to punch through a little bit. And I had to get it to the hot. I had to get it hot to the point where smoke was rolling everywhere. The chips were coming off blue before the drill bit would even push through it. And I had an issue to where the drill bit broke in the bar. Basically welded the drill bit to the hole. So luckily I already had one hole drilled. So, you know, I was good there. But on this saw, I can't flip the bar. It has to stay like this, because whenever I drilled it, that piece of that drill bit welded itself inside the bar. That was quite exciting. I actually have so much time on this chain and bar and everything that I think I spent as much time on the chain and bar as I did the rest of the saw. There's not a whole lot of wads to it. It's really just the pipe, getting it converted to methanol and stuff. I could probably get more out of it if I wanted to, but I don't know. I might just leave it like that. It's kind of fun like this, you know what I mean? It's a good, entertaining stage, and it does perform better than stock. I can tell you that. That's for certain. So it'll definitely outrun a stock one, but I think it's fun. You know what I mean? So there you go. Well, hope you enjoyed this one. A little Stihl MS 170 on a pipe. So when I'm competing, I have to think about that warm-up. I'm going to have to do a whole lot of warm-up work before the competition to try to get that pipe warmed up as much as possible to bring it to its full torque capabilities, you know. So I have to rev the snot out of it for a long period of time, every bit of 5 minutes or so, just to get it to warm up. And I'm just going to have to keep that in mind whenever it comes time to race with it, you know. It takes a long time to warm up, and I'm going to have to keep that in mind. It doesn't get its full torque capabilities until it's warm up. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this little one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.